Hello everyone, I'm trapped in a locker, so let's complete another challenge for Bloons Tower Defense 6. Today we'll be beating Chimps mode with just the Boomerang Monkey and the hero Etienne. On screen now are the rules for this challenge if you would like to pause and read them. And overall, this challenge actually won't be that difficult for the Boomerang Monkey. I think that it is probably the best primary tower overall. It has solid upgrade paths leading to great tier 5s that specialize in different things, with the top path Glaive Lord being able to deal heavy damage to ceramics and basically stop them from leaking. The middle path having some really incredible DPS that can just delete balloons with the biggest blimps without any real issue. And the bottom path, Moab Domination, having a global knockback ability that is just overall incredibly solid for helping out with really dense populated rounds. The only difficulty is the early game when there's only one of them. As you can see now, they kind of lose to spaced green balloons. And I do try a little bit of different microing, and maybe there is a way to micro this to not lose here, but I chose just to get the second boomerang after I fail with this one anyway. So, with that said, I'm going to jump back in when we get Etienne.
Ready to fly.
Alright, so we have a round 11 Etienne. So the best thing about Etienne overall is his universal camo detection that he grants all monkeys at level 8. That's why I'm going to use him a lot throughout a lot of these challenges, because some of the towers don't actually have camo detection upgrades, especially not in Chimps mode. So, as you can see here, this is the layout we're going to have. The rightmost one is going to be the turbocharge, or the permacharge rather,
Yeah.
for cleanup. The one down in the middle, bottom, will be the glaive lore to catch any leaking ceramics. And the one up front will be the Moab Domination for the knockback ability to try and stall out some of the bigger blimps. I'm going to be pathing them all with the bottom path for the extra um, fire effect to damage DDTs, as well as being able to pop an extra layer, which comes in handy during some really dense rounds later on.
Yeah.
So I will jump back in when we start getting all of our tier 3 upgrades.
Yeah. Yeah. Eyes up. Swarm deployed. C'est bon.
Alright, so now that we have all three Tier 3 Boomerangs, you can see the strategy's kind of already taking a bit of shape. I also chose to pick up the Tier 4 Moab Press for a little bit of extra knockback on the Moabs to help with the round 40 Moab. It ultimately will come in handy much later on when it's knocking back even bigger balloons, but having the additional knockback on round 40 does help out a lot. So from here, the main strategy will be to save up for the Glaive Lord, so that the Glaive Lord will be able to handle some of the tougher mid-game rounds, like 63, and even a few of the rounds after that can be a bit of a difficult because of the spinning glaives ability that it has, which you'll see when I actually get it if anyone who hasn't played this game. And here we have the round 40 Moab that's already taking a lot of damage from just the two boomerangs. And with all that said out of the way, I will jump back in when we actually get the Glaive Lord.
Oui. Tracking MOAB. How it's done. Adieu.
Alright, so we have the Glaive Lord now, and just in time too, because as you can see, so we're starting to get some balloons going pretty far along the track. And as you can see, this is obviously a great help to these rounds, just shredding through anything that the glaives come in contact with. From here now, we're going to be working on getting the Permacharge as my next tier 5. I'm going to save the Moab Domination for last because it is a bit of an expensive tower at 54,000. But unlike the Plasma Monkey fan club from the last episode, I think that despite its high price, it is still a great tower. Because like I said, it has a universal knockback ability, its glaives explode and deal AoE damage and apply a fire effect to any balloon that's not destroyed by it. And it's just an overall solid tower. But I'll jump back in when I get the Permacharge.
Drone power. Adieu. Tracking BFB. How it's done.
Alright, so now we have the permacharge, which, like I said at the beginning, is a very great DPS path overall. Unfortunately, with where I have it placed, though, it acts more as the cleanup than anything else, and it's not really going to see a whole lot of usage until about the mid-90s when we start getting a lot of DDTs. But that just kind of goes to show how good it is if it can just completely clean up DDTs with very little effort at all.
Tracking the OMG. DDT, DDT. Adieu. Oui. Ouch, stop.
Alright, so now that we have all 3 Tier 5 Boomerang monkeys, all we have to do is just sit back and wait for the game to end. That's really all there is to it. The Boomerang is the best primary tower in the game, and its 3 Tier 5s can handle the entirety of the final rounds by themselves. As you can see here, they're handling 95 with no real difficulty. The only thing I might need to do throughout the rest of this is just use the permacharge ability every once in a while for a quick cleanup. Outside of that, though, there's nothing else I can really add to this that will make it any better, unless I just want to spam a couple Moab presses for a bit more damage.
Ouch, stop.
Okay, here we are at round 98, probably the second hardest overall, I think, in the 90s,
Stop.
and the Boomerang monkeys are just handling it without issue. So, I don't think there's anything I could really do to have optimized this run any better. Maybe a little bit of better micromanaging in the early rounds. I could have got Etienne at round 10 instead of round 11, but I think that's probably for someone who has a little bit faster reflexes than me to find out. Overall, I think this challenge was pretty easy for the Boomerang. I can only hope that some of the other challenges will be just as easy, if not easier. And outside of that,
Ready.
on Wednesday we will be doing the bomb tower, and then on Friday we'll be doing the tack shooter. So please subscribe and follow my channel if you're interested in watching either of those two videos. And then next week I'll be taking a little bit of a break. I'm going to jump back to some of the other videos I was making.